Hey guys, Shrek here. Welcome back to the Noob Spearo podcast. Today I've got Matty Lewthwaite. It's Happy Gilmore meets Chris Coates. I got to tell you, we expose some of the origins behind a lot of the spearfishing gear you find on the shelves. But before we get there, I've got three quick shout outs. Number one, first and foremost, Adrian Wayne, former AUF spearfishing chairperson, has unfortunately passed away. Massive advocate for the sport of spearfishing, huge on safety, and a really powerful force in the history of Australian spearfishing. So just want to pay our respects there. Number two, on a brighter note, I did have a voice message from Geordie, one of our patron listeners. Have a listen to this.
Hey Shrek, Geordie here, the immigrant from up North Queensland somewhere. I started spearing pretty much at an older age because I'm from the Netherlands and can't spear there, unfortunately. The reason why I became a patron, really loved the diving, just the whole diving experience underwater, buddy, getting good fresh feed of fish, and just the lifestyle, good lads, positive vibe, all a good laugh, have a drink afterwards. And I just want to progress because I want to be a bit better buddy. Instead of me mates getting me spear out of the reef and wherever it might be stuck, I can't get it. So I feel a bit like a knob to get me mates to help me all the time. And I had some equalising issues and one ear and that sort of stuff and could never sort it out. But with some help from Adam Stern and other guys like you and a few of your guests, helped me understanding better how it all works. And now I just equalise pretty easy. I'm not a good diver, I'm a pretty shit diver, but I can get a feed of fish and probably dive up to 12 metres or something. So, yeah, I'm just happy to throw in a few bucks for you to keep the whole show going and your members and your guests. Keep up the good work, mate, and hopefully catch up one day and hopefully I'll make it to a trip in the wet Sundays. Cheers.
And number three, guys, 1770 beginner spearfishing retreats are about to drop. These things are off the chain. It's 4 days with an awesome group of instructors, full froth, no ego. We've got three running through the winter months over here in southeast Queensland coming up, and there are going to be 36 spots on each retreat. Great place to learn the foundations of spearfishing. If you are in that getting started, curious stage to spearfishing, all the way right through to potentially intermediate, but you haven't done a freediving course and rounded out your skills, the 1770 Spearfishing Retreat I can highly recommend. It's 2 days on a dedicated dive vessel spearfishing the Southern Great Barrier Reef, as well as a day and a half of just action-packed theory, practical stuff for spearfishing. Really good time. So if you want to check that out, go to spearfishingcourses.com.au/1770. Really want to get into this interview. Matty Lewthwaite, Happy Gilmore meets Chris Coates. Here we go, exposing some of the origins behind gear. And he's just a rad dude. Owns the DiveCave up on the Sunshine Coast. Check him out, Matty Lewthwaite and the DiveCave. Here we go. It's Noob Spearo podcast. I'm here with Matt Luthwaite in the DiveCave. I think this episode, like most of them, has been probably in the making for a couple of years. I've known Matt for quite a long time. It's an honour to be in his shop. His wife just left. We were teasing her for her tasting podcast. Life Uncut, shout out. So we're doing DiveCave Uncut tonight. Is that right?
That's it. That's right.
Matt, where did you and I meet?
Yeah, so Shrek and I go back about 10 years ago. Met in Brisbane. I was working at another dive shop down there at the time, and I was fortunate to rig up a few of his guns back in the day, and that's probably why he's missed so many fish in his life.
Have you always been good at rigging?
Not really, no.
Really?
Nah, I learnt a lot from Wayne Judge.
Yeah.
He's a very patient individual.
Yeah. And
he's a very astute individual, so learning a lot of rigging stuff from him has been detrimental to what I know now and what I've learned. So
love it.
Credit that to him.
He hasn't been that patient with me. How come you got the special treatment?
I was with him every day and I just managed to get on his good side somehow.
So good. So good.
But yeah, learned a lot from Wayne Judge, yeah.
He's good. He's such a voice of experience in our community up here. And the Bull Sharks, what they've done there in Brizzy.
Absolutely.
Which is like a pool training group, but for Spearos. Heaps of freedivers that go as well, obviously, and that's cool. But yeah, no, he's doing good things. You're pretty active in the club up here, Sunshine Coast Club?
Yeah, so I've been living on, so we met down in Brizzy where I lived and worked, and then shortly after our meeting, I moved up to the sunny coast. Been living here now for a while, and yeah, pretty active with the local club, the Sunny Coast Skin Divers. Good friends with a lot of the members there. It's a absolutely awesome club.
Apart from the president,
No, it's a solid bunch of people,
Yeah.
and we've got an epic community here on the sunny coast. So I'm happy to be locked into that, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. So good when there's an active club in the area. We're trying to start a Brisbane Spearfishing Club right now, actually. And a lot of the stuff we'll model off some of the better clubs like the Sunny Coast Club. I was a member back in the day before Reese and the team sort of relaunched it in the last few years. But it's so good to see them alive and flourishing because they play such a valuable role in our community, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I started in a great club, mind you. Back in South Africa, I was a part of a club called Spearfishing Club.
Yeah.
And geez, there couldn't have been more than 20 members, but man, like such solid divers and such a good crew, and like weekly barbecue get-togethers and stuff like that.
That's still going.
Still going, man. Still going.
Yeah.
And they do like all fun comps, and it's just that was a big part of me, like getting introduced into the community and to the sport and learning from some good top divers from the club.
I thought you were going to mention the golf club.
We can mention the golf club. So
this has to be one of the most unique stories for how someone started spearfishing, but it's my personal favourite because it kind of goes with Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Should I elaborate? Yeah, so I've always been, I would say I was involved in competitive swimming for a long time, and actually managed to win a gold medal in the South African Games for 100 metre freestyle. So always in the water, spent a lot of time in the pool, swimming up and down. Wasn't for me, wanted to do different things. I had a knee injury in matric, and that put me out of competitive swimming. Always been a surfer and stuff as well. So with all of that happening, I was gravitating towards other things, and the boys invited me for a game of golf. And I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'm alright. So I borrowed a club from my stepdad's garage, and it was a 3-wood, That's all it was. So I rocked up there, only club I had, rocked up there for a game of golf with this 3-wood and a pair of Vans, All these guys are dressed in their golfing shoes with spikes and all this stuff. And man, let me just say, I was atrocious at golf, Had a couple of swings, a few freshies, missed the ball completely. Eventually did hit it, didn't go past the ladies' tee, which everyone was shrieking with laughter and all that. And I was like, you know what, this sucks, man. I'm not into this. And true's nuts, by the 3rd or 4th hole, I was walking in knee-deep water along the lakes, picking up golf balls, and this was way more exciting. A couple holes down, the boys would start a hole, and I'd go into the bushes, and I'd come out and meet them on the green with heaps of golf balls out. Then, what happened thereafter, I was so addicted to finding these golf balls, and we were selling them at the time in South Africa, just to mates, parents and that. We actually ended up doing night diving in the lakes. So that was my first real freedive breath hold experience, if you will. We'd creep and crawl in our wetsuits into these lakes. We'd slip into these lakes at like 12 o'clock at night where the security couldn't check us. Take one big breath and off we'd go. Close our eyes in the lake, only a couple meters deep, 3-4 meters deep, and then we just to collect these golf balls. And that was my first sort of real freediving experience. Sucked at golf. Yeah.
Far out. Is it brackish water or is it all fresh water in those golf courses? Or
fresh water?
Yeah, not like the Queensland golf courses with the pool sharks in it.
No, but there are quite a few snakes. You get a lot of snakes in South Africa, so it's still fairly high risk, I suppose, diving at night time and
getting shot by the security guards probably.
Or getting chased by the security guards. That was actually fun.
Yeah.
We became really good at it,
What were we selling them for?
Oh, a couple rand golf balls. Not much.
Yeah.
Beer money, really.
Yeah, crazy. That's a pretty cool intro. Like I can relate. Like I used to go down to our local swimming pool and it was like 4 meters deep and we'd be diving in there. The golf course has got a very original aspect to it. I love it.
It's not an easy game, that,
Yeah. So you got stuck into these lakes diving at night. How did you make the move from there into the ocean and shooting fish?
Yeah. So about a year or so later, we were down at the local beach and I had a really good surfer friend of mine, Chris Lepan. He's actually still a good mate to me today. He was like a bit of a fringe guy, Hurley'd sponsored guy, never had a real job. Just such a good waterman, man, like unbelievable. And he started spearfishing on the local beach. And man, he'd swim in with dogger salmon over 30 kilo. Just like where we used to surf. We grew up at that beach our whole life and I was like, far out, that's epic. And I wanted to give that a go. So after seeing him do it, I slowly sort of started getting involved and just going down and looking for crayfish.
What do you call them there?
Krief. So I started trying to chase Crayfish, and man, that was also difficult. So again, didn't have the right gear. Had a pair of kitchen gloves, like those orange ones. Had a rugby jersey. I don't even think I had a weight belt, like swimming fins.
Yeah.
And I'd go down there to the local beach in the shore break and try catch these crays, which I absolutely sucked at for the better part of 6 months. And that was my first real introduction to freediving, or harvesting from the ocean, I suppose.
Just learning how to contend with surf, like when you're trying to climb into a hole, and it's so much fun getting thrown around. Yeah,
extremely difficult.
I guess the swimming and water background gave you a bit of resiliency, probably.
Absolutely, it did.
What was your best time? Can you remember for 100 free?
53 seconds.
Man, that's
400 free.
That's pumping.
Kept me fit.
So you've gone from the swimming, golf, into there chasing crays, and what was it, just slow progression? Or did you have a mentor?
I did have a mentor. So my uncle Mark, he was back in his time a very respected spearfisherman, and he, by that stage of his life, had completely quit because he had lost a friend in a pool training incident. So he was completely tapped out, and you got a wife and kids and life changes, and he still had all his gear. And I was telling him about all my escapades, and he was like, oh man, like, you should come and grab all the gear out the garage. And I was like, yeah, righto.
Oh, so good.
So he literally gave me 2 dive bags just full of everything. Guns, wetsuits.
What a start.
Yeah, everything. Then I had all the gear, and then I was like speaking to the boys and got sort of slowly into it from there.
Do you know how his mate died in the pool?
I don't know the full details of it, but it was, I think he overextended his time on the bottom, and they were doing dynamic swims as well.
And no suits, not so.
Yeah, back then I think the training regimes were a bit looser to what they are now. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what drills and that they were doing, but yeah, unfortunately he lost his life. Yeah.
You can see that, like I got from that the shock waves that go out after something like that happens, and you know it affects the people around you. I think sometimes with spearos too. Like I was having a chat with someone a while ago, and it was like, you know, they're like pretty chill with dying. They're like, you know, if I die or whatever, have a blackout, it's all good. Like, well, at least I'm living. And and to an extent, I kind of relate to that, because to be honest, like I'm not very, and you probably relate to it. We're not very risk averse, but then we don't really take into effect the first and second order effects of it. How the immediate effect it has on our family as fathers and providers, and or whatever your role is in your family. And then another couple of steps out beyond that, your family and friends, and then everyone else. So you inherited a bunch of gear from a sad story, but it's cool that it didn't stop there, because I mean, you know, your uncle probably could have just thrown all that gear in the dumpster, so no one ever had to do it again, you know?
Yeah, it was like a really cool thing, almost like a legacy getting passed down from a family member. So that was really cool.
Did that affect you, like in terms of the way you inherited that gear? Did that story have an impact on you as a young fella? Or no?
Nah, not at all, man. Like when I was that sort of age when I started, you're in matric, you're young man, the testosterone's pumping, bro. You just want to get out there and do your thing. You're not really thinking of the risks involved and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
So
just sent it.
I love the honesty, man, and that's cool. Like that's refreshing, because some people pretend like we're safe and we've always been safe, and it's like it's not really the real story. Okay, so you got this gear, you've had a bit of mentorship, you're in there chasing crays. You said you're full of testosterone, and you know, tell us some stories from the early days where you were like, oh, it was a bit hectic.
Yeah, look, you know, a young man's mind is different to someone who's getting a bit older in life. So, and in South Africa as well, you got to paint the picture. The environment there is totally different. So we don't have as many rules. We'd be going up to Mozambique for the weekend and stuff, and basically you get to the border and it goes from tar roads to sand, and you crack open a beer and off you drive, and you go up the coast and you do your thing, and it's pretty wild. Africa's a pretty wild place, so it produces some wild people. So, you know, young guys full of testosterone wanting to do wild stuff, and that's what we did for the most part of our youth. So you know, that wild stuff was a lot of things. It was surfing, it was diving, it was spearfishing, and a few out of the water activities as well.
I personally love and admire that. I think I love freedom and all its things, but there is the other side of it, which is like you look at guys that are doing it and you're just like, maybe what advice would you give to yourself if you go and talk to yourself at that age now? What would you say?
That's a good question. Probably to focus a bit more on the safety side of things, you know, because life is fragile and you don't see that when you're a younger guy. And yeah, as I said, we've lost mates diving and to different incidences and stuff, and yeah, just gotta be a bit more cautious and a bit more safer when doing these wild things. Still do the wild things, but just have a few like safety precautions in place. Don't do it blind.
Tell me about one of your favourite wild trips, driving north up into Mozambique and shooting some fish.
It's actually a trip down south, eh?
Okay.
So we went to the Transkei, I'm not sure if you've heard of that. And it was actually on a business trip. My parents owned a local travel magazine.
Just give me the geography of the Transkei. Where does it sit in South Africa?
So south of Durban,
Yep.
there's a very untouched part of the coastline.
So north of PE?
South of PE, I think.
Okay. All
So it goes East London, PE, and then it just keeps going down into the Transkei.
Okay, yep.
So completely remote, completely wild, rolling hills, cows, and a few African people that live in huts, basically. So
Yeah, wow.
we'd do sort of missions down to places like that, which was completely wild, you know.
So
There's
you go
no
north.
hotel to stay in or resorts or anything like that.
And is the ocean different there from Durban and surrounds?
Yeah, so the ocean there is called the Wild Coast, and that's where a lot of the, not to go off topic, but the sardine run will pass through there, and you see all those amazing images and stuff is those shoals of sardines moving through the Wild Coast. So incredible landscapes. There's some interesting facts about it. There's one of the few places in the world where waterfalls actually fall directly into the ocean. Incredible landscapes,
Wow.
Incredible coastline, rugged and wild.
Surf?
Big surf.
Yeah.
Big surf and good surf. Lot
So
of point
entry and
breaks.
exit points, I'm thinking, are...
Wow.
So you
So-
escaped down there with your mates for a weekend?
Yeah, so we headed down there for the weekend, and I was on a work trip for, as I was saying, the family travel magazine, and we're going to do this editorial on this place, and yeah, it was a whole big thing, but I thought, we'll take the dive gear as well, and the surfboards, and
Nice.
see what we can get up to. And I had all these great diving plans, and I was going to shoot all these doggers and these garrick and everything. And I got there and I saw how wild and remote this coastline was, and I was actually a little bit nervous, if I'm honest. I was like, bro, this place is completely untouched. Like, this is wild. There's big sharks there. The water wasn't that clear. There's a big river mouth that runs directly next to the point. And I was just like, hang on, I'm probably out of my depth here, eh? But didn't want to give up. Still wanted to give it a crack. So I ended up finding some local guys that were actually divers, but they weren't deep divers. They would dive 2 to 3 meters deep, and they would just catch crayfish. So I ended up going out with them, and that was a cool experience. And man, they're diving in their underpants and a pair of swimming goggles, eh?
Wow.
I've got all my carbon fins, like I'm ready for this big adventure. And I ended up just getting humbled in the shallows by these local African dudes who literally subsistence harvest off the land of crayfish.
That would have been cool.
So cool, man. That was an unforgettable experience, eh?
A lot of guys get obsessed with the big fish and the deep diving and the long breath holds, but sometimes it's just where it's at is like in the shallows, smashing crayfish, cooking it over a fire. Like
100%.
If you can stay in touch with that frothy part of it, it's like there's so many different ways to enjoy spearfishing. Eh?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you miss those adventures that you used to get in Africa? Because
Yeah,
Australia's
I do.
is a lot more civilised.
It's a totally different place. And there's definitely parts of it that I miss, and then definitely parts of it that I don't miss, and happy to be in a safe first world country. So
Yeah, especially like as a dad now too.
yeah, exactly.
What was one of the biggest things you learned in your early formative years diving in South Africa?
Swim through big surf. That just pops into mind. Like the shore diving that we used to do, we often didn't get breaks in the swell. Constantly swimming out in like 4 to 6 foot surf.
Wow.
And it's quite a decent swim as well, and like it's tricky entrances and exits, and there's current, and I just learned to shore dive really, really well, and learning from other guys that will take me out as well. It's tough shore diving there in certain parts, that's for sure.
Personally, I don't mind going out through big surf, but I get really scared coming back in. Talk to me about, for you, like what some of the key things you learned were.
Coming back in specifically,
Like for other people that are growing up in that environment that are still like learning to dive in a place like that, what are some of the things that you would say to them?
yeah, if you don't feel comfortable, definitely do not do it. There was a few times I was actually with my uncle, long story, but he got back into diving because I started,
Oh, so cool.
but nothing serious. He did a few shore dives with me, and he like showed me the ropes and that. And there was a few times I was so eager and so frothed up, and I was like, let's go, man, like let's swim out there, the viz is good, and it's like pumping 6 foot surf, and we're standing on the rocks waiting for a break in the set, and he's like, nah, Matty, we're not going today. And we walked back to the car, and I was just like, oh man, like, but just listening to that and being like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about, he's right, let's not go today and try again tomorrow. Yeah, just first of all learning like to how to read the ocean and when to actually go and not to go. Yeah, so that was a big thing, learning that for me.
Tell me about a time where you broke that rule.
Yes, I did. The viz was good, and the cuda were running, so we tried to swim off a place called Chain Pools, which is on the north part of the KZN coast, and it was big surf. It was really big surf, and we managed to get out there, and the current picked up, and the surf was big, and there's a lot of rock separating where we were to get back into the shore because we had been pushed down by the current.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it was really, really tricky getting back in.
So the surf would suck up and then jack up on these
jack
rock
up
things.
massively onto like these rock ledges and reefs and stuff like that. And I actually ended up getting dry sucked up onto the reef and slammed, and I think I lost a fin. So it was pretty horrendous, eh? And yeah, so just learning the lessons the hard way like that, and then you get back to the beach all black and blue, and oh man,
Shouldn't have
that
gone
didn't
today.
go well at all.
Well, at least I'm here.
At least I'm yeah.
It's like shaking and grateful.
Zero fish.
Yeah. Man, sometimes when you go, I've been out, like I haven't done a lot of it, but the times where I've broken that rule and gone out in big surf, coming back in with a couple of fish makes it even worse. Because like you're getting, you like the waves are jacking up behind you, you're swimming your ass off to try and get through so you can get up on rocks or whatever, but you can't move, and then you've got the weight of the fish dragging you backwards as well, and then they get caught in every rock and crevice, and it's character building, as my dad would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I always say, if you've got a strong shore diving foundation, the chances are you're probably going to be a pretty decent boat spearer, once you learn the boating side of things. Because
that fitness, eh?
Ooh,
and that ferocity with just big fin swims.
Hard work.
Yeah, you said in the comps, like those guys are weapons.
Oh.
Yeah. When did the Nationals in WA, I think it was last year or the year before, and the guys that were winning it were swimming 7 or 8 hours in 6 hours, I think. 7 or 8 kilometres in 6 hours.
Yeah, wow.
It's just like, I thought I was doing well doing 5.
Yeah, that's some serious stamina in the legs, eh? I don't know if I'd be able to hold up against that, eh?
Not, maybe you could swim it, but then like swimming it and diving, it's hectic. But shore diving, like I think it's underappreciated. I think a lot of really good Spearos are like that. Because you get Spearos, and I'm not looking down on anyone, but some people, I call them silver spoon Spearos. They just start at the tippity top of the town. Like they're in a boat punching out to dream reefs and good viz, flat conditions. And it's just like they haven't got the same froth and appreciation for those days. Because they just haven't had to persevere through muck and mud and awful surf and all the rest of it and still enjoy it and froth.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more with that, eh? Yeah, it's like an apprenticeship almost, the shore diving, eh? It really gives you an appreciation of how difficult it is. Just man versus the sea, no boats involved, and you're going to swim out there and you're going to come back with this fish. So, yeah.
Do you reckon motivation comes with those soul-crushing days where you like get destroyed on the rocks, have 1 meter viz, it's freezing, tear the arse out of your wetsuit? You know what I mean? Like you miss the fish of a lifetime at the back end of a dive like that. Do you reckon that's how your motivation is forged in fire?
100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
A lot of South African Spearos have got that, I reckon. Like all of you, I don't think I've ever met a silver spoon South African Spearo. That was a lot of alliteration there.
That was good.
But would you agree with that? Or?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Because all of you guys have to, like, even a beach launching, like, we look at all of it, it's just nuts.
Yeah, it is.
And then, here we've got Coast Guard and
crazy is that there's no boat ramps, really, eh?
Yeah, no. I look at it.
Wild, eh?
Yeah. And big surf coasts, too. And just, it just seems like there's a lot of blokes from there because it's just a hard way to do life. Like,
it is.
You just don't have that safety net. You go on regardless.
Yeah.
I guess you would say you feel like you served your Spearo apprenticeship there.
I would definitely say it started shaping me. But like kind of as I was getting into it, that's when I come over to Australia. So I didn't spend as much time as I would have liked diving around the country there. But yeah, definitely had a few good trips and a few good missions and a few good fish. And then I was in Oz. So yeah, like the different chapter of spearfishing began here for me.
Yeah.
In a large sense as well, yeah.
Where did you start in Aussie?
Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, this corner of sort of Queensland. How is it different from where you grew up?
Yeah, so demographically, let's just say that it's completely different. So there's a lot more people here in Australia that are fishing and surfing and diving. So I came here and I was quite...
Oh, there's more.
I would say, yeah.
Right.
Whereas South Africa, there's a lesser population of people, but there's a lot of spearos in that lesser population, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, just coming in, just seeing the amounts of people that are diving and all these big dive shops and stuff like that, which we didn't really have back home, you know.
Is that nice to have more of a community, or is it worse because there's more pressure on the resource and?
Yeah, it's both like good and bad, yeah, because there's definitely more pressure. Like back home, man, you could drive up the coast for 2 hours and you'll be completely by yourself, and there's like an abundance of fish and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like the coast here is quite populated, so it's kind of, you got to travel really far to get that sort of experience. But if you're willing to, you know, connect with other good divers and go chase some new reefs and dive deep and stuff, you're going to find that stuff as well. So it does sort of, I think it forces you to be a better looker and going and finding different reef and stuff like that. So
more exploratory. I think we've got 5 million people, you know, within 10 kilometres of the coast in the southeast corner, like, and then over 300-400 kilometres of coastline. I mean, there's some cool spots.
Yeah.
And it still fires, and I mean, we have a fairly well managed fishery, but the reality is that population is pressure, particularly in, you know, a decent. I mean, we're still a tiny amount of people, but there's still quite a lot of spearos in this area.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they are, hey.
Yeah, cool. All right, so heading out of Queensland, did you make friends? How did you get into the Gold Coast scene?
Yeah, so I had an uncle that was living there at the time, and he had a free room.
Not the same uncle?
No, different uncle.
A lot of uncles.
Completely different uncle, man. This guy was on a different page, eh? But a cool guy. Yeah, so I moved in with him there in this little, it was like a small apartment, eh? And he had a spare room, and pulled in there.
How did the South African induction go to Australia? Was there like a little speech that you get given, like?
No.
Okay, my boy. South Africa, we do this, but here we can't.
Yeah, he definitely said a couple of things like that. Yeah, around a bra as well.
Yeah.
It was funny, we're the only one braaiing in this apartment, but yeah, I don't know if that was legal having a fire there, but we did. It was good. Yeah, so he just took me in, and then from there, I knew no one, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anyone here other than my uncle. And just jumped on Southern Queensland spearfishing.
Real?
Yeah,
wow.
Dead set, man. Put my name out, then I was like, hey guys, I'm a frothing spearo. Anyone keen to go for some shore dives and whatnot, hit me up. A few guys hit me up, and the rest was history.
So you got any friends left from that era?
Yeah, I do. Yep. So Harrison Kelly, he's still my good mate.
Yeah.
We started shore diving together, and he used to take me out on his boat and still does.
Yeah.
Great friend of mine, great guy.
Good diver too.
Absolutely love diving with him. Such a good diver, man.
Yeah, you got some good connections. Cliffy up here as well. You're a bit spoiled.
Actually went diving with Cliffy and Harrison the other day. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, such good blokes and such top divers, eh?
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, they've been in Oz longer than me, so they've got a better understanding of how things work here. So it was really nice to just kind of link up in next to them and go from there and dive with them and learn from them.
How much, this is hardcore bro science here, but with spearfishing, what percentage of skill do you think is actual diving, and then what percentage is just knowing where to find fish?
Ooh, that's a good question. So, some people, well, my opinion anyway, some people really good at finding fish in the boats, other people not so good at finding fish in the boat. They're better at finding them once they're in the water.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few different factors that are working together. But I feel that the guys that are finding fish in the boat and then knowing how to shoot them with the skill as well, they become unstoppable, you know?
Yeah.
So you would have seen that with people like Tim McDonald.
Yeah.
You can quickly look at the sound and go, yeah, cool, fish from the boat, know what they are. He's got the skill set to go down and smash them. So yeah, I think that's a big thing, hey, trying to do that.
We've talked about population pressure, we've talked about skill sets and stuff. I guess a lot of it comes down to ethics then, doesn't it? You know, that page you mentioned, like there's more than 10,000 people on there.
Wow,
like,
it wasn't when I started, eh?
Yeah. I still see like dudes, hey, you know, what about this spot? Or even worse, like, hey, look at this fish that I shot at this spot on this day. Do you have strong opinions about this?
Yeah, that's a tough one, eh? Like, because we need the public forum. It's a place where people can learn and ask questions. But unfortunately, you know, some people are doing the wrong thing, and it's a hard one to kind of get your head around, because, you know, if you shoot something, how else do you learn it but from shooting it?
Oh, you're talking about
is that what you meant?
Oh, no, that's a great point. We'll talk about that. Yeah, the spear and ID questions, they can be quite innocent. Particularly, like, I have a lot of understanding for guys that are just starting. They do have a responsibility to learn the species. Yeah. But if they know it's a trevally, but they don't know what kind of trevally it is, I'm all good with that.
Yeah.
Particularly if they shot a bloodshed, because none of us want to shoot one. We'll quite happily ID that for them. But no, I have I have a level of understanding for that. I think it does give a bad look for people that are not familiar with spearfishing, because we're supposed to be selective. And if you see some new guy, like, he's shot something dead and he's like, "What's this?" It's like a bad look to the public. But when you're learning, it's natural.
Yeah.
I would say, like, club groups are the place for that, because at least then you're in a closed group of people that are paying to be there, and generally there's an aspect of mentorship in a club. On a public forum, like the more public Facebook groups, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I suppose it's good for, like, trying to find dive buddies.
Oh, like you did.
Like I did, yeah. And I'm still friends with those guys today, and that's well over 10 years later, so it does serve its purpose for something like that.
You have your favourite spots, and then, like, some dude's holding up a big kingy on your spot, and they post a photo and the location, and then it's like in a group of 12,000 people.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, the longer you do spearfishing, the more grumpy you get about certain things, and that's one of my bugbears. It's just like spot burning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming from South Africa, we used to keep stuff under lock and key.
Yeah.
Because there were some little, like, nuggets on the coast that held, like, really good waves and crayfish spots and stuff like that. So if the older boys sort of saw you doing something like that, you'd cop an absolute grilling for something like that.
That's healthy culture, I think.
So I think that's good, you know.
Yeah.
So we grew up sort of like that. So for me, that's foreign, you know. If someone takes you to a spot and you're banging all these fish, like, to say I got it from there, like, straight up verbatim, that's no good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like, peer to peer, like, if it's me to you, all good. Like, no
sure.
worries.
But on a public forum, no, that's no good.
Earlier we were talking about Sunny Coast Spearfishing Club. It's a real healthy, great club. Another awesome thing that every local area needs, they need a great club, and then they need a great shop. And obviously, I'm giving you a bit of a shine on here, but DiveCave's got a real good rep up here. And I think for young guys in the area, coming into a local retailer is really good for knowledge as well, particularly if experienced spearos are running it and so on. Because, like, you can give those guys quite a lot of information face to face, whereas online, a lot of the generation have been trained to get all the information from Google or now AI. And it's like, there's still, like, such a great reward to in-person, like, just exchanges. Like, so much better than buying shit online, getting everything online. I feel like spearfishing's such a kinesthetic, in-person kind of activity. And sometimes the online world just doesn't really mesh that well with it.
100% agree.
Yeah.
That's what we're about here at the shop, you know. We new people come here and we're just trying to share what we know and really help them out and help them to make the right decisions, you know. Give them the information that they need to be able to make the right decisions.
That's important.
Happy to share with what we know as well, you know. We're all about that, so it's good.
I think, you know, it's not like Spearos are spending, you know, $2,000 on equipment every week. Sometimes the formational stuff, if they get good information and gear at the start, then they keep coming back and do maintenance and repairs, and it becomes a bit of a social thing. Yeah. I saw your birthday celebration here. How old's the shop now?
So the shop, that was the 1 year birthday.
Yeah, so good.
So, yeah.
We had a cool crowd here.
Oh, that was epic, eh?
Yeah. Such a vibrant thing, and it's cool to see the local Spearos sort of repping it too.
Yeah, and see a couple of the old boys coming out of the woodworks, and
because they're not even
you've heard
on
the
social
names,
media.
and you've heard these legendary guys, and to actually meet them in person and see them face to face, you're like, oh my gosh, he's just like a casual dude.
Yeah.
I've heard like all these crazy stories about him, but he's like super nice and friendly.
Yeah.
And he's just having a sausage and he's stoked. Like, that's super cool. Eh?
Yeah, 100%.
That really is.
Yeah, like Ray Powell came up, guys like that. Like,
I mean, that guy's legendary. Yeah, like yeah, Ray's awesome, and just people. That's exactly the people I'm talking about.
Yeah, so generous too. Like, first time I met him, I was like some frother. I just like drove up to 1770, and I was trying to get a spot on the boat. I didn't, and he gave me a shirt. Like, he could just tell I was super keen, and I was barely even started, and he didn't have to do that. He just did it. He's just one of those dudes.
Yeah, he's a very generous man, right?
Sunny Coast's got heaps of cool, experienced, old, weird, eccentric Spearos too, which is great. I reckon. Like, I think it's cool to have them around the club too. Like, they might not be the most gentle at all times, and definitely not great on social media, but so good to have around.
Some of them don't even have social media.
Yeah. Well, when you talked about that Umlaka Spearfishing Club, I follow along with them on Facebook, and like, man, they're such a quirky bunch of people. Like, but it's cool. I like spearfishing house like that.
Yeah, no, that was an epic club. Like all the guys there are super down to earth.
Yeah.
And man, there's some guys in that club that are just like phenomenal divers.
Yeah.
There's one guy there, Richard Foreman. I don't know how many years he's been diving for, but he'd like pretty much almost win the Crayfish comp every year. And this guy's diving in pretty much braille conditions, like 1 meter's viz at most, and he just knows the reefs and rocks so well. He was telling us the one day you could just go out there and basically dive blind, and he knows where all the crays are, and he just comes in and just weighs a bag like of crays, and like no one even got in the water, sort of thing. So there's some crazy awesome divers like that there, you know.
That's underappreciated too. Crays are the whole other thing. Like, some guys like get a spear gun and they just forget about crays. And like, one thing I like about Reese is he still froths on them, mate. And there's a real art to just getting crays. Like,
there is.
Yeah.
And they're so tasty. Oh my word.
Yeah. Well, some guys, I think that's part of it. Some guys don't really like the taste. Like, I mean, that's cool. If you don't really like the taste, then you're probably not going to chase
come to my house for bra and I'll cook you one lacquer cray there.
Yeah?
Lemon, garlic, butter, a bit of parsley, a little bit of chili.
There you go too.
On the naked flame.
You just
we talking,
chop them half and half?
Yeah, butterfly in half like that. 100%, yeah.
And you don't parboil them first? You just straight on the bra?
Straight on the bra.
You're making Shrek hungry. We're going to have some of that pizza that your wife wants.
Crayfish pizza,
Well, we started talking about DiveCave. I know you're pretty frothy about gear, so I did prepare a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
You're pretty passionate about the whole process, from like where gear comes from right to how it arrives in a shop. And so many people are kind of unaware of the layers of people it goes through to get on the shops. And some people here, you can get gear for a certain price off online or whatever, and then they Spearo's, like, as much as we like hunting for fish, we like hunting for a bargain. And sometimes we kind of cut our retailers' throats because we try and cut them out. Obviously, when you own a shop, you've got rent to pay, you've got staff to pay, you've got overheads. And I personally think that if there's a little bit of a markup involved in that, we should still shop local, because it's how we keep our community going. And you're inadvertently supporting the new guys that are around. Because if they're going online, they don't even know what to buy. Like, when you've been around a little while, sometimes you know what to buy and you can buy online. That's enough for me. I'm speaking for you there, but
no, agreeing with what you're saying. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. What makes you so passionate about like where gear comes from and sort of the process of how it gets on your shelf?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up in South Africa and having accessibility to such great gear on our doorstep. I didn't really understand the scope of what we had when I was there until I moved here, and I was like, wait, what? You're selling that spear gun for what? Like, what? Like, I can just I can drive 10 minutes down the road and buy that like at the factory for like less of the price, but obviously, that's global marketing. But yeah, just like knowing that my home country where I come from makes exceptional gear. Exceptional gear. So yeah, I just looked into a little bit of that and just wanted to understand a bit more about the production lines and how it's all made and where it comes from, and I've always just had an interest in it, to be honest. Yeah.
Obviously, like, there's trade costs, there's transport costs. We were talking earlier, I always liken South Africa to spearfishing what Japan is to the automobile industry. Like, I feel like there's so many good, strong brands and such good gear, and it was really like this closed off pocket of the world, and they just, Rob Allen pioneered a lot of stuff, but there's Freedivers, there's Rabbit Tech, there's so many good brands there, and strong brands that make good gear. But getting their gear onto the shelves in other countries, there's a whole bunch of things in the way of that. There's costs and markup and all the rest of it. What's something that you have thought a lot about in terms of gear on the shelf here and how it's made and the process?
It's not all coming from South Africa, so it's actually a global market, and that market is split up into different segments, and different countries make different things well.
Yeah.
That's the truth. But yeah, I'm more interested in where each stuff comes from and how it's actually made and produced, and how the distribution channel, how it ends up from there into the consumer's hand.
Yeah.
And I've been interested with that for a while. So, yeah, ask me a question about a specific product, and I might be able to sort of give a bit more insight to what I'm...
Well, give us a little bit of an overview. Like, when I think about fins, like the Gold Coasters are pretty hard to go past. Like,
Absolutely.
we've got some of the strongest brands in the world for spearfishing on the east coast of Australia. There's obviously Dive R and Penetrator, but even further than that, there's some smaller fin manufacturers that are going really good on the coast as well now. I think that's pretty impressive. We seem to have that market cornered.
You do. You guys absolutely have nailed that market. And Ray being a leading pioneer in his like mass production of the best fins in the world, in my opinion. If you've dove in the dive hours, you would know like what we're talking about. Yeah, it's just what I'm trying to say is I'm fascinated with the materials that they're using and how they're doing it and putting it together, you know.
Yeah.
And that reflects in the price when a consumer walks into a store.
Yeah.
So you want to walk into a store and buy a set of dive bars off the shelf, right? It's good for the consumer to educate themselves and understand how that product has come to fruition. You look at somebody like Ray, while we're talking about dive bar, he's been in the game for 25 years, man. He's been exclusively at this, making fins in that factory, research and development. He's using some of the best materials in the world from these Inegra fibers that are coming out of Sweden, and he's got his processes of resin infusion, and then he's heat treating the blades, and then they're all cut and sanded by hand and glued on. So you think about how much work is involved in something like that. So the time you really are paying for what you get, and the materials cost. So when people come in and they're looking at a fin and they're trying a few on, and it's like explaining to them, look guys, this fin costs this much because it's like intensely high quality, and you're going to have this fin for 10 years minimum. You are.
Yeah,
it's the truth of it.
They're made for our market too. Like, there's European competitors, and they sometimes have lighter weight stuff.
Yeah,
and the materials are like super lightweight. You're like, wow, this is like maybe like 2/3 of the weight, but then 2 months in, when one of them snaps on the deck of a boat, or when you're coming up from a deep dive because you need that torque when you're pulling a fish out of the rocks and it snaps, you're like, maybe I just should have got the slightly heavier but more robust and condition specific
for our conditions.
Yeah.
And paid a little bit more because it's manufactured in Australia at the highest quality. So
I think some of the littler guys that are maybe more careful with their gear can get away with the European stuff. But for me personally, I'm rough and I like tough stuff.
Yep.
You can't really fault the fins that we have access to. And there's so many good ones. Like Ray's obviously a front runner.
Yeah.
There was a guy on Facebook the other day, and he was like, I
saw that post, right?
Yeah.
And you say you wanted to have a crack at making your own fins?
I've been messaging him, a real nice guy, and I respect people that try to do stuff. But I said to him, bro, like, you're going to spend $900 to make a $500 set of fins. That's the reality of trying to do it yourself.
And that's your first attempt.
And they won't be good.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to be as good. They're going to be...
No.
Maybe if you nail it, you might get them 70-80% of the way there. And that'll be shit hot on your first go.
Oh, yeah.
But like if you want to save money, you just come in and you buy a set. But I like that innovative Spearo spirit where guys want to have a crack at making stuff for themselves. But like it's not the most efficient way.
No, it's not. And now I'm with you. Let everyone. It's a free market. Let everyone have a crack to do what they want. But you've also got to understand, like someone like Ray has also invested most of his life into producing a product for us. That's cost a lot of money with CNC machines and molds and using different materials and figuring all this stuff out. So it's like, if it's your hobby and you're into fiberglass and you want to make a set of fins for yourself, that's cool. But if you want to get the most out of your spearfishing, just come and buy a good set of fins.
Going to spear guns for a sec. Fins are, I think we're on exactly the same page. Spear guns to me, I've chatted with a number of people over the years, and the tooling required to make the mechs and handles and muzzles, like, man, that stuff's just $40,000 to set it up to do a run. And like, how many spear guns do you need to sell to justify the capital expenditure to set up a mass-produced spear gun? It's horrendous.
It's a big barrier for new people to enter into market because of those costs, those setup costs.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be doing that, I'd say, you should be an engineer or have some sort of trade in that where you're going to now make this a business, because the financial gain very difficult if you're a new player and you're trying to set this all up. Not to discourage anyone from doing it, but that's just the cold hard facts, And if you cross-reference that to somebody like Rob Allen, who does have his own manufacturing plant or production line, you know, the amount of time and money again, same as Ray, he's put into setting up that business. There's thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, definitely.
And he makes a lot of his own tooling and machines as well. So some of the stuff that he has in the factory is exclusively that he's built and made. So you can't even get it. So unless you got $50,000 to go and make a machine, like it becomes very tricky to become a manufacturer. And especially what I found in Australia with the labor costs involved and stuff like that. It is very difficult for these craftsmen to enter into the market with a good solid product. And look at timber spear guns produced in Australia. There's not many at the moment.
No, and they're using componentry from elsewhere, like the Neptonic stuff, or you know, some of the other stuff that's available on the market. And a lot of the handles and mechs are proprietary. Like the companies, like if you spend $40,000 tooling up a machine to make a spear gun, and then something is slightly out, there's $40,000 potentially gone. Start again. It's an expensive lesson to learn. My mate Bert over at Old Man Blue, he loves trying to make all his stuff here in Australia, but he's run into time and time again, like just the cost of delivering stuff. And you look at his stuff, it's the best shit. Like it's super tough, super hard, but you're selling to quite a small market, and do they have the appetite to pay what's needed to buy the best stuff?
Reality, it's mostly not, hey?
Well, sometimes not, man. Like, I mean, you have a look at his cray lips, what goes into it. Like, they're shit hot. I mean, hopefully we're going to start getting them in Queensland more.
Yeah, I'm keen to try a few of those.
Yeah, but like, what goes into it? You're like, man, I could make one of these better if I tried, you know? Even if you're clever, like, the expenditure to make that, experiment with it, years and years of process, it's just hard. With spear guns, in your opinion, who's making the best ones now?
Without being biased,
we're all biased.
Yeah, we're all biased in some shape or form. But the Rob Allen's been working really well for me for the last 10 years. I was on a freediver's gun before that, which I also absolutely loved. I can't remember. I think I left it in South Africa at a mate's house, and then I come over here, and then I just ended up with the Rob Allen, and then I was just stuck with that. But yeah, just a good old classic carbon gun for me. Works really well.
A lot of the pipe gun guys, like we get kind of... South Africa's like exclusively pipe gun, isn't it? Are there timber spear guns in South Africa?
No, there's nothing. Or the Timberline, but that's not really, it's just still a carbon gun.
Yeah, I like the Timberlines.
They're cool, eh?
Yeah, well, it's like borrowing the best of both worlds, I reckon.
Yeah.
Have you used one?
I have used one. I've used a 1300 roller. That I borrowed off the Rob Allen rep, man, and I'll be honest, that was like cheating, eh? This is not fair on these fish, right? And there was no recoil, and I was like, what's up with my arm? Like, I shot that gun and like nothing happened, and there was like no recoil, and I was like, far out, man. This is why they're so expensive, you know what I mean?
After I chatted with Chris recently, I was like, I'm buying one of the spear guns. Half the time I do that with the people I interview, I just like, you know, you can't help but like the people you chat with, and then you just buy their stuff. So I bought a Devilfish 1200, like it's like the Timberline, but
that's a roller.
It's his spec up, a double roller.
Postman's roller.
I'm taking it out tomorrow for a bit of a road test.
Let's see.
I never wanted to take it out on a course where I'm guiding people, and then here's me swimming past them with a 1200 Timberline spec roller.
You'll get some mad rain in that bad boy, eh?
Yeah. They're a big gun to swim around with too. Like, but the cuttlefish shape, like they just track well as well. I'm really looking forward to giving that a blast. But I do believe they're
very well built guns, those Coatsmans as well. There's so many good guns on the market, if I'm honest. So you know, this gun might be one that works for me, but it might not work for somebody else, and that's why it's nice to have a range of all different stuff and all coming from different parts of the world as well.
Do you stock timber guns?
I do. I got some Koas there.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So they're from the States. Man, like I've sold a few. I haven't had one negative feedback yet. They're big in the States, obviously. They're a bit of a new player in the Australian market. But if you actually inspect one of those guns and you run through it and you do a bit of research, again, you'll find that this he's manufacturing all those components himself, including down to the shaft.
I love that.
So it's literally like timber comes in one end of the factory, and then like a timber spear gun comes out of the other end of the factory. And I just think that's cool that people are
in touch with the process.
And you're sourcing the best teak available and all this kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. Let me say this: I appreciate that a lot more than someone just assembling a gun with all different parts. Again, nothing wrong with that.
No.
By all means, go for it, you know. But
well, the cost involves, like, if you're
Yeah.
going to make spear guns from one end to the other, like, man, there's some cost involved.
yeah, but you're backing yourself to make that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't enter into that heavy cost if you don't believe in your product. So yeah, it's good to see the manufacturers like that going for it, you know, from start to finish.
None of these companies are like huge either. None of them.
No, they're not.
Rife, Rob Allen,
Yeah,
like,
Koa as well. It's just one guy, John. and probably a few workers.
Like
yeah.
Ray Powell, the driver.
yeah.
You're like, oh, these are the biggest brands in spearfishing, and they are.
Oh, they are, yeah.
But they're just still like small enterprises,
Yeah.
relatively speaking. I like how our most Spearos, particularly when you get beyond your first lot of gear, we care way more about getting exactly what we want, and we don't nickel and dime too much with price. Because, like,
That's right.
I mean, you might have 5 $250 or $200 spear guns,
Yeah.
but you would throw them all away for one spear gun that works if it's 800.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely become more about quality over price the longer you're in the sport, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the guys have been diving a long time, you know, they know what they want. As a retailer, I'd say they're my most difficult customer.
Yeah.
I love them to bits. I love the conversations, you know, about the gear, the manufacturing, what works, what doesn't. I love all of that. But from a sales perspective, they're coming into the store already knowing what they want, and there's no convincing them. And that's cool, you know. They've been doing it for long enough. Whereas a new guy comes in, you know, the onus is on me to sort of...
I thought about one day having a website, right? And you put your spear gun in, and then you're asked to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 for like 10 or 12 different characteristics, like price, durability, maintenance, etc. But the problem is, if I talk to a guy who's a Rob Allen guy, it's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 all the way down, and it's like, it lacks that real nuanced perspective.
Absolutely.
Whereas if a Rife guy does a Rob Allen review, he's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And it's like, neither of them are
There's
right,
no
but
middle
neither
ground.
of them are wrong. But it's just like, we get locked in, and we're like, part of it is, I think, you fall in love with the romance of the brand.
I was going to say, it's more of an emotional thing, hey, Shrek?
Yeah, well, and you get used to how it feels and how it shoots. And
Yeah.
everything's adapted and locked into it.
You shoot some of your best fish on that gun, that becomes a part of you. You don't want to change to anything else. It's memories. It's like a boat. Just you don't want to give it up for anything else.
Without naming a brand, have you ever had a dummy spit with a bit of gear?
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember watching, we were talking about Wayne Judge earlier. He had a bad day with me one day, and he must have missed like 7 or 8 fish in a row. And he threw his gun down in disgust and grabbed another gun of the same brand but roller, I think, and then also couldn't hit anything. It was just one of those days for him, and normally he's a killer, like it. And Wayne wouldn't mind.
Yeah, he has this really experienced speaker, and he's missing. He's like, how does this happen?
It makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
But like, you know, to see someone like that have a dummy spit, you sort of think, oh, it happens to us all. Like.
It does, and I had a massive one, I remember buying, it was a 1-1 roller, I won't mention the name, but it was a little carbon thing, super looked nice, felt good, set it up, man, and I missed every single fish under the sun, and it was all good fish too, and I was pissed, man, I was really upset. Went back, changed the rubbers, changed a whole bunch of things, back to the drawing board, and away we go, rigging up to. Then I went over to Fiji on a trip, and the amount of effort it takes you to get to these islands and stuff is wild, man.
Yeah.
Like there's transfers and boats and planes and sports tubes. It's a lot to get there, and I hadn't had this gun dialed in. Same thing, man. Just missing all these fish that I'd been chasing so hard to get. And it's heartbreaking. And I actually ended up giving it to a villager, before I said, here you go, bro, here's a $1,000 carbon spear gun, have fun, bro. I don't want to touch this thing ever again. So the dummy spit is real, and maybe the next guy connects with that gun, maybe the handle's on a slightly different angle and it shoots better for him, and he hits every fish and goes, that's the best spear gun I've ever owned. Who's to say?
When you get so dialed in, you're just dialed into whatever it is you use. And I hate it when you've got like a bent shaft and you just don't know it, and then it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you spend half the day before someone goes, oh, is your shaft bent? And then you're like, yeah. And then you know what I mean? It's like a relief, but then you're like angry with yourself for not spotting it earlier,
Yeah, and there's so many of those like little nuances there that you've got to consistently check over your gear to make sure that you're hitting true.
With new guys, steering clear of bias, right?
Yeah.
Because you can get locked into the brand story, and you're like, oh, everything that this ABC brand makes is shit hot. but it's not true.
No.
Like, not for any brand. Some of them make good stuff, and then some of their other stuff is less than good. Some brands are pretty consistent, but all brands are infallible, right? For a new person coming in, right, they might have been convinced that this brand is good. But how do they know what a good bit of gear is on the shelf versus a shit bit of gear? Like cheap versus, cheap and nasty versus like decent. Because sometimes the price is not indicative either.
The price is not indicative at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good question, and I suppose there are some telltale signs, you know, when looking at new gear and trying to buy something that you want. So if you're looking at a product that's got warranty on it, usually that means that those people making it are backing that product. So for me, you pick up a thing, you say, what's the warranty on this? Yeah, 3 years. Okay, that's sort of a telltale that this could be a good bit of kit. I'll use an example for that. The Aussie reels, manufactured in Australia by Barry. I think you've had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Legend of a dude, man. Absolute.
Got to interview him in his house and go and pet his ferrets.
That's special, man. That's cool. He's a cool
man. It's
I've always frothed him out.
Yeah. And he's so cool in real life too.
Oh,
really.
I speak to him on the phone when I order his reels and stuff, and he's just so nice and just such a cool dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, you look at a product there, and I speak to him on the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, if you ever have any issues, you just let me know, and we'll fix it free of charge." And like, he backs the product so much that he's basically saying that there's a kind of limited lifetime warranty on that product. So if someone comes into that shop and asks me, what's the warranty on this reel? And I say, yeah, bro, just like unlimited, I'll sort out for you. That will give confidence that that product is not a fake and that it's a legitimate product. You say, what's the warranty on that set of fins? And I'm like, there's no warranty, man. Like, you know, that's a bit suspicious, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a telltale. And then also,
there's that ethical dilemma too, though. Like some of the entry-level products, it's like some people come into your shop and they have a preconceived idea of what they're going to spend, and they think you're like trying to upsell them when you're like, look, this is $200 more, but it's like 5 times as good as this one. But
like
they want that choice.
Way better. It's a way better product for $100 more. Like, why wouldn't you spend that money?
I did it.
Yeah, we all done it.
The first spear gun I bought, I tried to save that $100. And then
it's no good.
I just wasted 9 months of my spearfishing life with a shitty spear gun, wounding fish, missing them. Pretty much threw the spear gun in the dumpster, went and bought the one that he told me to buy at the start. And it's like, there's a couple of things there. Well, we're all on a budget at some point in some way. We're all on a budget regardless of where you come in.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is sometimes you feel like you're being sold something. So I interrupted you.
And I suppose that's the responsibility of me being the retailer who deals with these products every day, who's got the information, who's got access to the suppliers. I can ask all the right questions. I know what I'm selling. So yeah, I've got a responsibility in that to sell somebody the right tool for the right job. So if someone comes in to me and goes, man, I'm on a strict budget, first I will try to get a bit of information out. I'll start my extrapolation process. I'll say, right, what sort of spearfishing do you plan on doing? Man, I'm going on holiday and I'm just going to have a crack at it like once while I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
Then you can sell them a low budget product and you say to them, look, the expectation of this product is not very high, but this sounds like it's going to be suitable for you. You, on the other hand, sounds like you knew from day dot that you were going to get into spearfishing.
Yeah.
So then, therefore, you should be buying something that's a lot better. So it's kind of that like sort of
qualifying
thing,
questions and stuff.
Qualifying questions.
I guess you can't complain if someone sells you some cheap shit, but that was the guidance you gave the person who was selling you the gear as well.
Yeah.
I always looked at shops that sell really low quality gear, and I sometimes go, how can you ethically sell that stuff when you know it's shit? But the same token, it's like people are coming into your shop.
But they want it.
And they want it. And they're not like... So you do have to have that gear there. Like, you can't, like, go, oh, no. I mean, you can steer people around, but you need the options at least, I reckon.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's selling the right tool to the right person, you know what I mean? So, like, the DIY guy who's, like, going to have a crack at building a treehouse, he's not going to go get a full setup of Makita kit. Like, bro, he's going to use that, he's going to use that saw once or whatever. So just give him a budget one. Like, give him a...
That's me.
Yeah. Hopefully not with the spear gear, but
No, not with spear gear, but with, like, DIY appliance gear. Like, they're like, oh, buy the cordless, and I'm like,
nah.
Just the cordless.
And then you regret it later on.
But the other problem, like, with power tools, it's like... You need all the same brand, so your batteries don't die. But anyway, we digress. But there is a lot of similarities and parallels, I think, with the way we look at and buy stuff. I never really thought about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
What is the most underrated bit of cheap gear out there? Like, if a guy's coming into the shop, right, and he's just starting, sometimes you hear like, oh, cool, he's got $1,000. It's like, it's not really enough to get a foot in the door with spearfishing gear in Australia. Do you push them to buy second-hand some stuff, and where do you feel like costs can be saved?
Yeah, I do, and it's a tough one because I'm trying to run a business, so like I need to make sales. Like, I know. It's a shitty question to ask. Yeah, but it's a good question, and I try to portray myself as an honest person with that sort of stuff as well. So I'll say to people straight, man, just go buy this Rob Allen off Marketplace for $150. That's going to be good instead of spending the full retail price, you know. But then I'll say something about, look here, while you're here, let's get you like a banging mask that's going to fit you well. Don't go buy that off Marketplace, man. That thing's old. You're wasting your time. You're going to have a negative experience when you're in the ocean. So while you're here, look, let's spend $120 on something that's a really good mask for your face.
Yeah, nice.
Let's compromise on the gun. Go to Bunnings and buy the gardening gloves for $10. I don't care. I'll tell you which ones to buy instead of buying, you know, some branded ones for a lot more money. You can get away with that sort of stuff. So I kind of steer them in the right direction, and I think, you know, giving that honest advice, my hope is that they're going to come back. They may not, they may not, I don't know, but the hope is that, look, I'm transparent with you. Hopefully you're going to support me when you do decide to get something a bit nicer and that sort of thing.
Well, there's that, like, for people that are in business for years, and it seems like you've decided that you're in this thing, like, and hopefully you are, you know.
Oh, definitely.
But it's like, you don't need to look at a sale as a sale today. You look at a sale as like, this is the first transaction of 10 in the next 10 years of your spearfishing life, and hopefully you keep coming here.
Yeah, correct. And that's funny you say that, because the guy that had the shop before me was a fly fisherman. Extremely good at his trade, world renowned, and he's been on the coast for 30 years.
Wow.
So I've had chats with him, and he didn't want to lease the shop to anyone who wasn't ocean orientated. So the whole way it worked out was serendipitous. Anyway,
that's so cool.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, I want to be like this bloke. I want to be here 30 years on the coast, kind of like a Wayne Judge, you know, just like learn all your lessons, and you can, with a bit of time and a bit of age, you can be that go-to person on the coast and help people get into the most amazing sport and lifestyle that there is.
In San Diego, I've got a mate, his name's Captain Dan Walsh, and he's been a patron of the podcast for a long time. But some of the real well-known old divers there, they call them moss backs, because they spend so much time in the water that moss starts to grow on their back. Sounds like you want to be like that in this part of the world. So
hopefully, you know, hopefully.
The DiveCave. A marketer might look at the name and go, I don't see it. Tell me the story. Like, where did the name come from?
I got the story, man. I was living at a mate's house in Medina, and we're actually trying to make fiberglass fins in his garage. He was a boat builder by trade, and I was the marketing guy with the contacts in the industry, right? So Tweedledee and Tweedledum, there we are in the garage, making incubators and trying to glass up these fins. I had no idea that was my first sort of like scope into the production side of things. Yeah, I can learn this, but I got no idea what old mate's doing. You make the fins, I test them, I sell them, bro. That's the deal, you know. And that whole deal didn't work. It didn't end up working, but we were trying to develop stuff, and I was trying to create stuff, and at the same time I was looking at distribution things and trying to get more gear to bring it in to sell on the Sunshine Coast. And I was just in the shower the one day, and I was like, man, I want to do this business, hey. Like, and if I did, what would be a good name? And I think I was kind of like that moment, you look at the sky, like, God, give me a name like for the business. And I just had like the name DiveCave sort of just like drop into my spirit. It's like, that's a really odd kind of name, man, eh? Like, well, let's run with it. And then anyway, I didn't do anything for like 3 years, but I still held on to that like name. I was like, I went and did some landscaping and like did a trade and all that. And then years and years kept passing. That's all I could think about, just that name, DiveCave, just having like an Aladdin's cave on the Sunshine Coast, just full of dive gear. And I was like, that's kind of perfect, man. And I just ran with it, and then many years later we got the name going, and we are still. So still early days, but we love it, and that's how it sort of got birthed, eh? That and the lack of other dive shops on the coast doing spearfishing well, should I say? No,
I think you are, man. Like, you're entrenched now, and you haven't even been here that long. Your wife's doing a ripper job on social media too. Like, I don't know if you guys are you just the DiveCave on Instagram? What's
Just DiveCave. Yeah.
Go and have a look at it. Like she rips Matty these new ones sometimes. Like one of the ones she does is like a video where she pretends to be him coming home from a day of diving, and like just so funny, and like you can feel it, like when you come home from a 10-hour day out the water, your hair's everywhere, and you're just covered in salt, and you don't care. You're like. Put the fish in the garage, as long as it's ice, I'll fill it in tomorrow.
Whatever, right?
Just throw everything off. Like, I've taken all my gear into the shower with me just to wash it. But you're just so wrecked.
The dive brain is kicked in, you're tired. Yeah.
But she, like with your social media, she's really capturing those real moments. Like, it's not the touching down at 35 meters and shooting a green jobfish. It's like the actual relatable stuff.
Yeah. Which I think why it's done so well, because it's like, man, it's like a C-grade Bollywood production shot straight off the iPhone, and she gets an idea and she's like, wait, sit there and I'm going to film you doing this. And I'm like, what? Righto. And then, but it's just like raw and real, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's relatable, man. Yeah.
She's funny.
She's a funny person, eh? Yeah. She makes me laugh. Yeah,
cool.
She's good.
That's good to have a missus like that. Yeah. Like, it'd make this thing bearable. Yeah. Because, like, there's so much that goes into a business, man.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Any business in spearfishing, too. Like, it's a passion project first.
Yeah.
And then you've got to make it viable,
Yeah, and that's the tricky part, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes I'm as frothy on business as I am about spearfishing. I don't talk about it a lot, but, like, one thing I've tried to do on the podcast is just nurture people with cool businesses that are doing the right thing, and like you can tell people that are setting out to do something.
And there are lots, and it seems to be more and more each year. Hey, Shrek?
Yeah, well, I just like people that follow their dreams. Like you don't have to. They're not following the corporate thing. It takes balls to like get out there and have a crack too. And
it's big risk involved,
Yeah, well, 80% of the businesses like die in their first year, and there's like huge rate of failure. So you got to just give people a crack, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Hats off to you. I'm still trying to make mine work too.
Well, we're in it together, eh?
Yeah, we're in it together.
We'll have another chat in 10 years and see.
100%, I'll take you up on that.
Both washed up working at Coles, eh? I should have got that corporate job, eh?
Doing the nightfall.
F this,
Doing the nightfall, just packing shelves.
Yeah.
I did start off my working life doing that. On the resume though, was product transfer technician. So.
Yeah, okay. We've all done some jobs where we can get more spearfishing done, eh? I know I have,
Yeah. Innovation. So, what do you think is happening now in the spearfishing world? Where are brands focused on innovation, and where should they be focused?
Yeah, so
big picture stuff.
Look, I thought a lot about this question. So, from a product side of things, I'm not actually seeing that much that's completely innovative and that's blowing me away, right? Other than a few patented features on some of Cressie's masks. From a production point of view, they've got US patents on certain things, which makes it hard to copy, right?
Yeah.
Where they're trying to innovate and tilt the lens in so you get less volume but more vision.
Yeah, right.
So they actually patented. You can look up the patent numbers. These are things that they are trying to engineer and innovate to create a better experience for divers, right? I don't know if you know much about the Cressie stuff, but it's one of my favorite companies. They've been around since 1946. It's a family-owned and operated business. Still to this day. There's no CEOs, stakeholders, none of that. And they are just absolute frothing divers from the
Since
net.
1946?
Yeah.
How old is that?
It's in Genova, Italy. Yeah.
Oh, that's old.
Older than me.
54 and 25 is what? 79 years old, nearly 80 years old. That's incredible.
Yeah, so they're trying to innovate. What I'm trying to say with the innovation side of things, you think a mask is just a mask, it's glass on a silicon skirt, but I think they've actually got 5 different patents on some of these features.
Yeah.
I think, they do. So
you wrote some stuff
I wrote some stuff down. So the rake lens or the incline glasses, that's one of them.
Okay.
So that's a patented technology that they've actually invented.
Wow.
So that'll make it very difficult for another manufacturer to copy.
Yeah, because back in the day it was like there were these certain molds that got around, and we've talked about the cost of tooling up and making molds. Like there's a significant barrier. So a lot of sort of the same molds would get white labelled, and heaps of brands would have the same, pretty much.
Well, they'd have the same mask, and those masks would just be rebranded masks out of Asia, right? Where I feel that there's some innovative technology there that separates them from just your run-of-the-mill rebranded Asia mask.
Yeah.
So that's a cool innovation. I thought about this question for a while, Obviously, old mate Billy doing the throw flashes. He's on the sunny coast. I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, it's innovative. You know, it might not be like a high-end, expensive product, but he still thought about it and tested it and trying to get them to sync to the perfect speed and having the 6 different sides.
If you're chatting to him, he needs
cool,
to,
man.
He needs to sell a bulk pack though.
Yeah, dead set, right? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you're like $12 each. You're like, sell me 5 for 50, Billy.
Yeah.
Because like I'll buy a 5-pack. Because I'm gonna go through them. Unfortunately, like you lose them. In my courses, like I quite often show students how to use them because they're so effective. Like for anything that's drawn to glitter, like, and so much of the animal kingdom underwater is drawn visually to stuff. They work. They work. One of my students was like, "Oh wow." Like you said it was going to happen, and it happened, and I got the School of Trevally to come from nowhere straight back in. Yeah, but then he lost the flow fresh into some staghorn. You know how it goes with the staghorn coral, and you're like I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
And so but they're so effective.
But I think that's cool, you know, and that's an innovative product, and like pairing up that with a little holster, man. Like, there's some gangster innovative stuff. Like back in the day, we didn't really have anything like that.
Nah.
Yeah, I think that's another one that deserves a shout out, and he's doing a great job, and they work. I mean, I've had wahoo come up and just absolutely mouth them, eat them, and then spit them back out. But
I feel like there's a hole as well for a company that did like bungees and stuff like really well. Like, because we all DIY stuff.
Yes.
With like bungees, with your knife, so like when your knife falls out of its holster, and you're not going to lose it completely because it's a 60, 70, 80, $100 knife. You're like quite pissed off when you lose them. So the bungee's good, but I mean, a company could make one that was custom for our application. Some guys wear like a G-string bungee through their weight belt so that it doesn't move at all. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I think it's got a funny name. Yeah, I have seen that thing.
Chris Coates has got another one where he runs one with a knife, I think, in the back or something. Like, I think there's because like a lot of guys want to get stuff off their bodies and out of their hands, and your weight belt's a natural place for that if you don't have pockets. I think there's room for some innovation there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. But I think also at the end of the day, diving's been around a while. It's quite a simple thing at its core nature. So it's really hard to innovate. We're not talking about like aerospace engineering here, you know. Like we're talking about a gun to shoot a fish, to eat a fish. Yeah. So I think people like Ray would have tapped out that like deep innovation of creating these products, if you know what I mean. So maybe one day we'll see a laser sight on a spear gun. I don't know, you line it up on a wire and you're like, oh yeah, that's sick, man. Like underwater laser beam, bang, like. What are they going to innovate next? I don't know.
Accuracy seems a great place to innovate because, like, we hate wounding fish.
Worst ever.
Yeah, but we all do it.
Yep.
And you see them swim off, you know it's shark food. I hate feeding sharks. I like feeding my family. And I hate wounding fish too, like, especially special fish. But, like, those good fish, they're good and sought after for a reason. It's because they only give you a half shot.
Yep.
So you're taking these low percentage shots on the hopes that you're going to convert, but if we're honest, like we don't always convert, and so if you can,
that's true. Hey, Shrek. Like I'm not much of a rifle shooter, but I feel like you can get a rifle dialed in to be like accurate, like 100% of the time accurate. Whereas a spear gun, the gun doesn't shoot as straight as you hope it would.
No, there's limitations.
There's different reasons for it, but
like those timberlines seem like they would 100% shoot a tighter group. I can almost guarantee.
Yeah,
because pipe guns. Whether you want
what if the bottom of your flop is like slightly bent on a rock and flared outwards? Your gun's going to kick up and you're going to miss. It doesn't matter what gun it is. So there's nothing like foul proof that they've innovated where you can have like the perfect shot.
True. With that spear gun, you took on that expedition, right?
Yeah.
Do you wish you had jumped in a pool and just like tested the crap out of that?
Yeah, that thing was sick. It was a 1300 roller, which is the biggest, most long range gun I shot, double wrapped, like. Yeah, Timberline, that was incredible. The range, I haven't been using guns like that up until that moment. So, yeah, that was wild, man. I'd love to sit in the pool and shoot targets with that. I think you could get a lot out of a gun like that.
The Southeast Queensland Spearo's version of that is just sawtail surgeonfish.
I've actually seen the numbers dwindling. We need to chat about this. Guys, leave the sawtails alone.
We need to do like a Pink Floyd, like brick in the wall knockoff, like, hey, Spearo, leave those surgeons alone.
That's true, man. Yeah.
But they're so good eating. Like, I love them. I'll bout a couple. Easy to fill it. If you dry age them, they just taste so good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with them, eh? Had a few of them, they're good.
Every year we run these salmon spear charters out of the Whitsundays out of the Great Barrier.
Yeah, I've seen those are epic, man.
Yeah, this year people were heaps more onto it. I think we've got better on our pre-trip communication because one year, like I swear, like 3 of the guys showed up with brand new inverted rollers, and they're from down south. They're escaping the winter. They're like coming up here. They're just super keen to get into warm, clean water.
The old too much froth, eh?
Yeah, over froth.
Over froth, yeah.
But they spend their froth in the shop getting a $1,300 inverted roller, and then they get up there. They've never shot it. They unwrap it. They fire and miss, and then it takes them 25 minutes to reload.
Wow, yeah.
And it's like, bro, like just your Rob Allen double bet, like not to name brands, like or your Rife.
Yeah.
Like these guns are just consistent. They've done the job year on year. You just want to be able to like have something that's reliable. It doesn't need to be 7 meters range.
No, it doesn't. And that actually makes you a worse hunter, to be honest. You're not going to get closer to that fish if you're shooting them from 7 meters away.
Nah.
Yeah, you become a better hunter when you've got a limited range, eh?
Yeah.
Like I shoot all my fish pretty close up. Otherwise, I don't bother these days. Like if it's a really long shot, like and it's a good fish, I'll just come up and try again. Like I'm not interested in wounding the fish like we spoke about earlier and taking a longer shot. I'm just like, just wait until I've got the money shot.
I've got used to my like 1,200 rollers now, and it's just hard for me to go back.
Yeah.
But when I'm swimming around with students, I'll take a 1 meter or 1,100 roller. But when you're the job fish out on sand in the deeper water, you just want that extra meter range.
Fair enough.
So there's an
snapper
application
or something.
Yeah,
definitely.
But I hear you. I've got better at being more patient.
Yeah.
There's a scarcity is a huge thing. Like if you haven't been spearfishing for a month and you go out, like there's this certain level of bloodlust that we have.
Yes.
Once that's sated, and I don't care how experienced you are, we all suffer from it at times. Once that's satisfied, then we can be quite generous. But the only person that I haven't really seen to suffer from it is probably Tim McDonald, and I think that's just because he's slayed that many fish. It's just like yeah. But most of us, we all have to shoot something, eh? Yeah. I watch my instructors like when we're running retreats. I'm like, bro, you need to do some more spearfishing before you come out of this.
Yeah, and it's true. It's a good point you make there, Shrek. Like, and look, and if you're not shooting that gun regularly, you're not getting used to it as well. And then when that good fish does come past, you haven't been shooting, and you a good chance you're going to miss. So it's nice to just get up there, fulfill the bloodlust, like bang a few Sergos, bang a couple of things, get your gun dialed in, and then that big wahoo swims up. You're like, yep. Sweet, like I know I've just shot this gun 3 times. Your confidence is higher. And that's also a good approach, eh?
Oh, 100%. I hate not having confidence in a gun when I'm on a good fish.
Oh man,
it's such a bad feeling because you're like, this is probably maybe the best opportunity I'm going to get, but you're not sure of the shot, you're not sure of the range. It's a shitty feeling.
Yeah, you got to just keep firing that gun, eh?
Yeah.
And the people that the luxury of having that pool testing, I mean that would be amazing if you could have that all the time and get your guns really dialed in. And
have you ever just set up targets in the ocean and had a crack that way?
I've set up in my uncle's pool back in South Africa and had a crack that way, and that was fun. But the ocean's a different. It's a controlled environment versus an uncontrolled environment. It's not the same.
Yeah. Once you get out there too, you just want to go spearfishing. You're not going to set up a target.
I want to set up a target, man.
Yeah, you're already there. You're like, nah, we're already here. I'm
no
going
way.
We're not that disciplined.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. I feel like every spearing shop, if we put more money through our local spearing shops, maybe every single shop can set up a container swimming pool so we could
or a 40 meter pool, 40 meter dive pool, man.
Without tiles.
Yeah.
And lifeguards.
Yeah. And heaps of fish.
I'm a bit silly sometimes. I had this dream about when I buy my house, getting some acreage and just DIY building like a 10 meter dive well. Like DIY building a pool.
Yeah, just that first atmosphere, a bit of a stimulation, let's go.
Well, didn't your scuba guy that taught you, didn't he have one?
Yeah, the first guy I learned to scuba dive from, he was a dairy farmer in Taranaki, right? And he froths scuba diving, catching crays. He frothed so hard he built a 5 metre deep dive well on his farm.
No way.
And we went out there and we did these adventure tourism courses with him. He's a big part of the reason why I do what I do now.
Yeah, wow.
He was contagious, like his energy, and man, that's a lot of capital outlay. We were talking about
a 5 metre pool. That's huge.
Yeah. But like, imagine building one yourself. That'd be pretty cool.
I really hope some rich investor does build like a deep free diving pool in Australia. Anyone out there listening? You got the coin behind you. Let's see it, eh?
Yeah,
that would be wicked, eh?
Yeah, it's cool, man. I like it.
Like that pool, I think it's in Dubai. Have you seen the images of that one? Like the videos?
Yeah,
and
it's
that?
crazy. They put
That's so
statues
cool.
down there, and yeah, like I'm not much of a freediver, but I would really enjoy that. It's nice when you get extended days in a row doing deep diving because
Yes.
your body does get that adaptation going. Have you
Yeah.
played around with deep diving much?
Yeah, a little bit of deep diving, yeah. It depends what everyone classes as
He
deep.
sells himself short. He's renowned as a deeper diver on the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's...
Reese told me earlier, like
You know.
you pushed past 15 meters the other day for the first
Oh, I
time.
thought it was like 60, eh?
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I mean, look, I think anything going over 30 meters would be considered deep
100%.
because of the pressure change and because of the changes that are happening in your lungs from a freediving perspective, you know.
I think with spearfishing, anything beyond 15 meters is actually deep.
Yeah, okay.
And we just undersell it because like experienced guys just talk about 20 meters like it's nothing. But like when you think about it from a person who's beginning, you think 15 meters, man. Like
That's
you
a
look
long
up
way
a power
down,
pole
eh?
and you're like, yeah, like that's 45, 50 feet. I personally think that's really like, and then super deep is beyond 30 meters. And like it takes a long time diving that deep to be able to do it, especially spearfishing. Like it's not like freediving.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so spearfishing, anything I would say over 25 could be considered like deep. Yeah, so yeah, we do a little bit of that, but yeah, by no means are we going crazy deep like the Mediterranean guys, which that would be to me considered really deep. But yeah, it's where you measure, how deep is deep sort of thing. But yeah, done some deeper side of spearfishing, I suppose.
Do you enjoy it?
I do like it. Yeah, I do like it.
So you like it all?
I do. I love every part of spearfishing. There's not much I don't like. Oh, seasick. I get seasick. I hate that.
Real?
Yeah.
What do you do to combat it?
Vomit, and then eat.
I thought you were going to have some like Richard Ditch there.
No, vomit again, and then eat pills, and then just keep diving.
Do you take pills before you go?
Yeah, I take pills a night before, man.
So without giving people medical advice, what's your protocol?
I stay away from rich foods because I used to back in the younger days. I had a pretty bad diet and a few other bad habits, so having a pie and a cigarette before you go diving, that definitely brings it on. But I don't do that anymore. But yeah, stay away from like rich foods and dairy and stuff like that.
And what's
Big proteins
seasick?
like eggs and that. And then I take the Travacom originals.
Yep.
So I'll pop one the night before, and then I'll pop one in the morning, and then one throughout the day.
Okay.
So I hit them pretty hard. I'll go through a few boxes.
And
But if I
does it
don't
make
do
you
that, I'll get
drowsy?
sick. No.
Because people, if they get seasick, they can become drowsy, but also like it's a histamine response, it's an immune response. So we take antihistamines. All the seasickness medications are antihistamine.
It's a weird thing.
But then they can make you drowsy as well. So it's like, I don't know, it feels like you've got to kind of nail the protocol that works for you, which is why I asked.
And they all are so different, hey? So it's by no means medical advice.
No.
Like everyone's got their own setup for what they do. Some brands of tablets work better for others and stuff like that. When I'm not seasick and I'm feeling good on the boat, then I'm happy to explore some deeper areas. But
So good.
yeah, it just depends how you feel on the day, man, eh? But I just love, as you said, all facets of spearfishing. So, from deeper stuff to groveling around in the shore break in 2 meters of water, looking for crayfish. I love every part of it, the whole process.
Yeah. Matty, it's been an honour to have you on the podcast.
It's been an honour to be on the podcast.
Is there anything I have failed to ask you that I should have asked you about? Or something you wanted to share that I haven't asked you about?
No, I think we've covered pretty much what we said we were going to talk about, and just have a yarn,
Yeah, and in another 10 years, we'll come back.
100%.
We'll do this again.
Yeah.
It'll be, I don't know what the Noob Spearo, it'll still be the Noob Spearo, but it'll be like the old Noob Spearo. Maybe you have to have a pension edition. Or
That would actually be super cool, like going back in time and then interviewing all those same people that you had on, just to see how things have changed. And
I love catching up with some of the guests from, like a decade ago. It's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, no, 100% sure. I think just before I forget, the one thing I do want to say is that I do love your podcast, and I think that we have a similar ethos when it comes to the spearfishing. So just that full froth and no ego sort of thing.
Yeah, you've got it in spades. Like, even I got one of your shirts from the DiveCave, and like, guys, have a look at some of the DiveCave merch. It's like tongue in cheek, fun. I think you definitely rock the no ego full froth, and that comes through in the way you run.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So it's cool that we can connect on those same values and. Yeah, just be real and talk spearfishing, and I think we've hit the nail on the head with this one. And
sick.
I love the podcast and amped to hear more. So yeah,
thanks, Matty.
Absolute frothing.
You've been a dream to have on, bro. Guys, go and follow DiveCave on mostly Instagram.
Mostly Insta.
TikTok.
Yeah, mostly Insta. I haven't done the YouTube think because there's other guys on the coast like
Cliffy.
No Viz Adventures, Down Deep Adventures who do that a lot better than I do.
Yep.
So we'll let them run with that.
What's
But yeah,
Cliffy's channel called?
Down Deep
Down Deep,
Adventures.
yeah.
Down Deep Adventures.
Yeah,
Man,
he's-
amazing content. And
some
super
of those
solid diver.
Some of those clips he posted recently, like that one spot,
The
and then,
orange spot, was it?
Yeah, orange spot, and then that jack the other day
Yeah.
too. It's like got shark, but I was like, man, that's some sick footage.
Yeah, sick footage. So yeah, we'll keep those guys doing the YouTube. But I'm just on Instagram, man. I just do like little clips, So nothing fancy. Just what we get mostly on the sunny coast too.
I like it because it's just like you can laugh. Like the clips are funny and relatable, man.
That's
Keep
what
doing
it's
this
all
thing.
about.
Love the dive cave. We will check in and catch up again, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on the podcast, and wish you all the best in the future, mate.
All good, brother.
What a dude. Matty Lewthwaite, Happy Gilmore meets Chris Coates. I think you probably see what I mean by now. I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. Really informative from Matty, particularly about some of the origins of the gear you find on the shelves. Check him out at the Dive Cave. Really cool dude. Highly recommended. Very well regarded on the Sunny Coast. I'm a member of the Sunny Coast Skin Divers. Really great club up there, and Matty comes very well recommended, and I think you probably got a sense of that from today's episode. Hey, next episode, it's a really exciting one. It's Mark Davies from Karma Dives in Harvey Bay. Him and I are starting to become pretty good buddies. He's helping me to run some retreats. One thing we cover off in the next episode is depth progression. How to go if you're stuck in that 5 to 10 metre range, how to get to 10 to 15. If you're stuck in the 10 to 15 range, how to get to 15 to 20. With every stage of spearfishing, there's the next depth, there's the next goal. I think it's pretty fitting moving into 2026. Everyone's setting themselves goals. You might be up for this. Mark Davies, come back next week. Depth progression, it's going to be a good time. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our patron listeners, Steve. Mahalo, Steve. And hey, he's one of 50 people putting fuel in the Noob Spearo outboard week on week. I really appreciate you. For patrons, there's a bunch of exclusive freebies, including an exclusive email, one actionable tip, one mouthwatering recipe, and one frothy discount on spearfishing retreat course, or even a bit of merch. Check that out. Go to patreon.com/Noob Spearo. Join 50 others putting fuel in the Noob Spearo outboard, keeping the show on the road. Hey, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed today's episode with Matty. Join me next week. Mark from Karma Dives, depth progression. Big 2026 plan for Noob Spearo. Thanks for sticking with us, guys, and making this a really cool spearfishing community.